Fani Willis trial blunder exposed. Not a single lawyer for Trump at all pursued the proper line of questioning during the cross-examination of Governor Roy Barnes. First, I will present his testimony, then I will show you how they failed to properly cross-examine him.
I do. Roy Eugene Barnes, Royeugene, Barnes, Barnes.
Say, good morning, Mr.
Morning.
Barnes. Can you tell the court a little bit about your background as it relates to your service in public service?
I was first elected to the state senate in 1974 from Cobb County, and I served 16 years there. And then in 1990, I ran for governor and was defeated. And 2 years later, I went back to the House of Representatives. I was elected to the House of Representatives, served 6 years until I was elected governor in 1998, and I served in that position until January of 2003.
And after serving in the position of governor, can you tell the court a little bit about what you transitioned into after your public service?
I did exactly what I was doing before I was elected. I went back to practicing law in Marietta, Georgia, with my daughter, who's now a judge of the state court, and my son-in-law. And now we have, I think, 6 or 7 lawyers. Charlie Bailey back there was one of them at one time.
Okay. And Governor Barnes, would you consider yourself to be a trial lawyer?
Yes.
Okay.
We don't write contracts or we don't write wills. All we do is try cases.
And I want to direct your attention back to 2021, where you were approached by the district attorney of Fulton County, Fani Willis, about being a special prosecutor.
I was. I don't recall the exact date, but I know it was sometime in 2021. And she asked me to come down, and I met with her and Nathan Wade, and there were several other in the meeting. She asked me, said they were beginning this investigation, and she asked me if I'd be interested in being special prosecutor, to which I replied that I had mouths to feed at a law office, and that I would not do that.
So here we get the first key statement from Governor Barnes, a statement that should have been further questioned by all of the attorneys on the Trump side, or at the very least, at least one of them. Prior to this trial, I had never heard Governor Roy Barnes speak on any occasion. So when he took the stand, I was listening to him as an unbiased observer. I found his testimony to be extremely disingenuous, if not an outright lie. Here he is telling us that he couldn't take the trial because he was afraid that he might not be able to pay his lawyers. That's total garbage. Fani Willis was able to hire as many prosecutors and assistants as she wanted to, and Governor Barnes could have done the same. I also thought that it was disingenuous because I believe that any attorney would have jumped at the chance to take such a high-profile case. So I've already mentioned that I believe this was a key statement from Governor Barnes. What questions would you have asked?
So ultimately, you turned down.
Yes. Yeah, I told her. I said, I'm not interested.
You said it was sometime in 2021. Do you remember?
I think
it was?
I don't remember the dates. They all go. I could look it up on my calendar at the office, but I don't have that.
Well, I want to ask you about some statements that Ms. Willis made March 28th, 2021. She was talking about assembling a team for this case. Are you familiar with her work assembling a team for this case?
Well, I assume that's what she was talking to me about. But besides that, I don't know.
And I know you had said you had a meeting with some folks, and Mr. Wade was at that meeting.
Correct.
Okay. So he was with the district attorney interviewing you about taking this case.
Well, of course, I know Nathan very well, as you do.
Yes.
And I exchanged pleasantries with him, but the conversation was with Ms. Willis.
Okay, with Ms. Willis. Were you aware at the time that her team consisted of Brian Watkins, Megan Vargas, Sonia Allen, Shannon Trotty, Sal Chan, and John Floyd? She had reported that was her team on this case.
I know John Floyd was involved, and she probably told me the others, but listen, I barely remember what case I tried last year, much less every word that was said in the conversation.
What a surprise. Another Democrat witness who comes to trial knowing what the questions are going to be, but not able to remember what happened and not bringing the documentation to support any questions that he knew was going to be asked. If I was getting ready to hire an attorney and I found out that they couldn't remember what cases they worked last year, I would find another attorney.
I understand, fair enough. But she said she was looking to hire more lawyers and investigators to work on this case.
She told me, it was to me, and she said, would you be interested in being special prosecutor in this case? And I gave the reply that I've already known. I mean, about hiring other lawyers or whatever, I don't know. All I can testify to is what she told me.
Did she tell you at all why she wanted to hire special counsel and not use someone who is an ADA, not have an actual employee?
No, she did not. I mean, we did not discuss that, and but I would assume it was because in a case as big as this that you'd have to have some assistant help. I know John Floyd has been in some cases over the years out in Cobb County, for example, and others.
Would you agree that an employee of her office, someone who was paid a state salary or a county salary as an ADA, could handle a case like this?
I couldn't tell you that unless I knew the person, knew their experience, and really had been with them in a courtroom.
All right.
Has an opinion on that.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
The rest of the lawyers involved in the case also missed the obvious questions upon cross-examination. I'm not going to make you listen to their questions because they are basically the same as what Ashley has already asked. What I'm going to do instead is tell you what the proper line of questioning should have been. The next line of questioning should have started with, did you discuss the merits of the case with Fani Willis? The reason why that should have been the next question asked was because Governor Barnes clearly had far better credentials than Nathan Wade did. If Governor Barnes had discussed the merits of the case with Fani Willis and had decided not to take the case, that would be indicative that this case was a bunch of garbage to begin with. If Governor Barnes had discussed the merits of the case with Fani Willis and then declined to take the case based on its merits, that could have made the rest of the trial unnecessary.